Lance Armstrong was regarded as the greatest cyclist in history, winning 7 Tour de France titles between 1999 and 2005. However, these titles were stripped and Armstrong banned for life by the sport after it was found he was systematically using illegal performance-enhancing drugs during his reign. This was both a shock to the sport and a slight expectance, as there had been rumours for years that Armstrong and his team were doping, even in his most recent Tour de France runs in 2009 and 2010. The doping scandal at rock cycling has many ethical issues in it, ranging from Armstrong himself, his team, medical staff, the UCI, as well as both Armstrong's sponsors. Lance Armstrong burst onto the sporting scene in the late 80s by winning the National Sprint Course Triathlon and later choosing to pursue a career in his strongest discipline, cycling. He made the US Olympic team and was the hot favourite to the men's road race. However, he finished a disappointing 14th. Over the next few years, he put in solid performances and rose to be ranked 7th best cyclist in the world. In 1996, he was diagnosed with testicular cancer and had tumours on his brain. In 1997, he was fully recovered, and the Cancer Foundation Livestrong was created, with Armstrong being a spokesperson for the foundation. His meteoric rise in the sporting landscape began in 1999 when he won his first Tour de France, and would go on to win the next 6 in a row after that. Throughout all his wins, there was always just a suspicion he was cheating. And in 2005, after his first retirement, French newspaper L'Equipe reported that his 1999 blood sample showed EPO use. Armstrong came back out of retirement in 2009 and finished third in the 2009 Tour de France. And in 2010, his ex-teammate and 2006 Tour de France champion, Floyd Landis, who himself was stripped of the title, accused Armstrong and the US Postal Team of systematically cheating, and Landis filed a federal whistleblower lawsuit. Armstrong retired in 2011, and in 2012 the US Anti-Doping Agency opened up a case against him and charged him with cheating. Armstrong didn't fight these charges and therefore was stripped of all his titles and banned for life. All of Armstrong's sponsors immediately cut ties with him to avoid a PR nightmare. As soon as Armstrong was stripped of his titles, all sponsors went into crisis management and cut ties as quick as possible. Armstrong's main sponsor, Nike, who he had been with for over a decade, released a statement saying, "Due to the seemingly insurmountable evidence that Lance Armstrong participated in doping and misled Nike for more than a decade, it is with great sadness that we have terminated our contract with him. Nike does not condone the use of illegal performance-enhancing drugs in any manner." The statement from Nike and this statement and Nike's quickness to distance themselves showed how the procedures in place to limit the damage done to their company. This also applies to Armstrong's other main sponsor, Oakley, who also cut ties with him as quickly to limit the damage done to their respective company. Throughout the years, Armstrong denied all allegations of cheating whenever it was brought up in the media. He maintained his innocence up until his life banned by USADA and the UCI. It wasn't until he went on an exclusive tell-all with Oprah in 2013 that he finally admitted to cheating. With this interview, it backfired greatly on Armstrong's popularity with the US population. As before the interview, only 37% of Americans believed that cyclists used drugs, whereas after there was only 21% of Americans who believed he could restore his image. The interview was seen as a bad PR move by Armstrong, as looked by the numbers he should have continued the lie and remained adamant that he didn't cheat. Armstrong was unethical in his time in the sport, and as a result, all his results wiped from existence from 1998 onwards. He remained adamant he'd never cheated, even when he'd received his lifetime ban. He tried to use Oprah as a way to come clean and earn some respect back but that failed, and instead of being known as the greatest cyclist to ever live, he'll be known as the biggest cheat in the world sport.